It was probably late February, early March. There was supposed to be a big show down in Dallas, and that got called due to weather. So really the only place a lot of these guys have gone to race is Brownstown last weekend, and the car you're about to see take to the track right now, the 12, oh, I'm sorry, not the 12, but that's Paul Nienheiser in the 5N. Nienheiser had a really good showing at Brownstown last weekend. And, you know, this is a guy that ran with a wing over his head for a pretty long time, and he looked really solid at Ocala. He looked good at Brownstown last weekend, and we're going to see what he can do here. It is the 5N KO Motorsports entry. Fitzgerald Peterbilt, Roadworks Cam 2, Velocity J&D Chevy from Chapin, Illinois. Paul Nienheiser trying to get after it here. Let's see what lap one looks like here for the driver of the 5N chasing Rookie of the Year points. Nienheiser, 14.336. And he is really working on finding where he wants that car to go. Now he works the high side through 3 and 4, sprays them coming out of the final two corners, and he does not improve. He slows it down to a 14.623. So Nienheiser provisionally his best lap, that 14.336. We keep on moving. Here comes number 76 of J.J. Hughes. Hughes out of Columbus, Indiana, driving for AFAB Race Tech. The Triple X with the Williams Chevy underneath at Keith Rooney, DDS, and Tarlee Properties on the side of that car. Nienheiser starting his first time to lap here. I'm sorry, Hughes starting his first time to lap here. Getting that thing to set down, heading into 3 and 4. We'll see what the 76 can do here. Lap number 1 of 14.580, so he's 0.2 of a second off Nienheiser. Down the back straightaway, looking for a little bit more here. Really early in qualifying, 2 cars coming by to take time. Hughes' second lap improves, but it's not enough, 14.515. So Hughes picks up some speed, but it's not enough. Nienheiser still on top of the board. Coming up next, the 61M of Jaden Rodriguez. Jaden, another one of the drivers that we saw run both nights down in Ocala, Florida at Winter Dirt Games 12. Looks good on his exit out of 4. He's going to go right to the top here and try to carry a bunch of momentum, works his way down a little bit lower, through 2, sets himself up for the run down the back straightaway and pitches it in way high, works the middle through 3, and will come out right there in the center of turn number 4. Jaden Rodriguez for the top, 14.297. Rodgers looks good, wants more. 14.2 to Nienheiser's 14.3. This lap looks good. He stays up higher through 3 and 4. Let's see if he can improve here. 14.297 last time by. No, he actually backs off to a 14.4. But he looks really good staying up on the top side through 3 and 4 versus starting out high in 3, moving to the middle in 4 on his first lap. He committed to that top side, and that looked really, really good for Jaden Rodriguez. Quick time so far, 14.297. Sabin Bibent, I understand one of the local drivers here at Lawrenceburg. In the number 10 out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's see what the 10 can do here on his first timed lap. It's going to be a 15.142. Sabin working through 3 and 4, right through the middle. Kicks that left front up in the air. Bibent, second lap of 15.170. So really consistent 15.1s both times by, but does not improve on lap number 2, and unfortunately is not enough to move him out of the 4th position. Carson Garrett now in the number 15. Garrett driving one of the KO Motorsports cars. You can see BGE Products right on the side of that car, along with Farney Construction and Davis Brothers Trucking. It's a Velocity chassis with a J&D Chevy underneath the hood. Carson Garrett, got to give a call to the young man. Fellow Coloradoan coming all the way out here to the Corn Coast to chase short track glory. They don't have a lot of racing like this over by the mountains. Carson Garrett, lap number 1, good for 4th place. It's a 14.610. See what he does here in 3 and 4. Stays pretty conservative through the middle of the track. Tracks it down. Exits out of 4. He does not improve on lap number 2. Garrett, a 14.6 is his best lap. 14.7 is his second lap. So 5 cars to take time so far. Jaden Rodriguez, Paul Nienheiser, J.J. Hughes, Carson Garrett, and Sabin Bibent, the top 5. Here comes Stevie Sussex. Again, we spoke to Sussex here inside the Flow van back on night number 1. of the season when Stevie scored the win in the Indy Race Parts Heat Race number 4 back at Bubba Raceway Park. Sussex working on lap number 1 here. He wants to try things out up on the top on the entry. He keeps it pretty high as they roll through 3 and 4, and it works for him. Sussex, third quick, 14.460. He likes how it feels up in 1 and 2. Let's see if he commits to the high side in 3 and 4. Makes his way out of the final corner, down the straightaway, 14.6, and he improves to a 14.352. That is an improvement. Unfortunately, it's not enough to get him up to the front row. But Sussex got quicker lap after lap there, and that's good for third fast. So good run for the driver of the number 77 at Tempe, Arizona, driving for Wingo Brothers Racing. Coming up next, the 33M, it is Matt Westfall, Pleasant Hill, Ohio, driving for Ray Marshall Motorsports with Buckeye Machine, Empty Water, all-star performance on the side of his Gressman Chevy-powered DRC. Westfall, first time by here in the 33M. Let's see what he's got for him. Good enough to get up to a 6, the 14.674. Westfall trying to improve here on lap number 2, keeps it up high, rolling through 3 and 4, 14.67. Good improvement here. He's going to leapfrog 2 cars as he's going to end up with a 14.412. So Westfall takes the 33M up to 4th quick thanks to his second lap 14.41 right behind Stevie Sussex, who was a 14.35. Moving on here, coming up next to take time in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. See him on your screen right there. It is the 39 BC driver, hails from Rossville, Indiana, drives for Clausen Marshall Newman Racing with Driven to Save Lives, ZMAX, and CSI on the side of his Kistler Chevy sponsored Spike, or powered Spike. It is Cole Beaudine. Beaudine moving up from the NOS Energy Drink Midget Series last year. He will be chasing Rookie of the Year points here with the Amsoil National Sprint cars. Lap number 1 for Beaudine, 14.469 as he works through 3 and 4 here. This looks good. Had to tweak it a little bit on the exit of 4. Beaudine improves, 14.401. That's good enough for 4th fast here out of the 8 cars that have qualified. So Cole Beaudine in the top half, 4th quick. Up next, the number 44. We got a few of them. Out of Mitchell, Indiana, driving for Jason Sudrett Racing with Electric Works on the side of his Sudrett Chevy-powered DRC. Dickie Gaines, in the number 44, starts his first of 2 timed laps here. Electric Works right on the side. You can see Gaines going to work. I love that shot, man, as they come in to turn 3 down the back straightaway. Just for a second, they kick the car to the right to set up for that big run down the hill. Gaines' first lap is a 14.910. See what we can get here as they enter 3 and 4, and that is just such an awesome shot, showing you the speed that these cars carry down that roller coaster of a back straightaway. Lap number 2 for Gaines, a 15.086, so he will not improve. Gaines keeps the number 44 right there in the 8th position. Here we go, the Iron Man in the 5S. This should be, I think, our final KO Motorsports entry with Hudson John Deere, Superior Tank and Trailer, and Ravens on the side of his Fisher Chevy powered Velocity from Fort Branch, Indiana. Chase Stockton. Again, I talked about 322 consecutive races that Chase has entered. He has not missed the feature. He looks to extend that streak to 323 tonight at Lawrenceburg. First lap for Stockton, 14.610. That puts him 7th. Right in front of Carson Garrett, right behind J.J. Hughes. To move up to 6th, he's going to have to eat away 0.08 of a second at the line. Does he do it? No, actually, he does not improve at all. It's a 14.615, so deadly consistent, a pair of 14.6s, but 14.6 flat, 14.61 for Chase Stockton. So that's good for 7th, and we've still got a lot of really fast guys to go here. But I think it was night 2 in Florida. I wasn't sure how Stockton was going to do it, and he still did, so don't count him out. Talked about him during Hot Laps, USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Series Most Improved Driver last year. Here we go, it's the number 28 of Brandon Maddox. Maddox coming to us by way of Terre Haute, Indiana, driving for himself, Brandon Maddox Racing, in the J&D Chevy powered R&B powder coat sponsored DRC. Maddox working down the back straightaway, working through 3 and 4 here, keeping it right down the middle of the corner. Lap number 1 was a 14.7. Lap number 2, a 14.5. So Maddox finds some speed on a track that he himself admits he has struggled at and doesn't always look forward to coming to. Maddox, a good run, 14.5. That's good enough for the top 6. Here we go, the winner the last time we were here at the Berg, number 69, Wine Me, Dine Me. It is Brady Bacon, making his way through 3 and 4 to pick up the green flag for his first time laps, driving for Dynamics Incorporated with his friends Fatheads Eyewear, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, and Telstar on the side of that Triple X with a Ryder Chevy underneath the hood. Brady Bacon, when you go back-to-back and trips to the Berg with a win, he's going to start here in qualifying. Lap number 1, 14.518. Bacon is just one of the consummate professional sprint car drivers that are on this tour. No matter where we go or what we do, you have to factor in Brady Bacon. Lap number 2, how about it? 14.307. That looks good. Not good enough to take the top, but it looks good enough to get real close. 14.307. Bacon goes to P2 in front of everybody but Jaden Rodriguez. Rodgers still out in front. We work our way through the qualifying order here, and there you see it coming out of turn 4 to take the green flag to start his qualifying 2 laps in the number 19 AZ from Minden, Nevada, driving for Reinbold Underwood Motorsports in the AME Electrical CSI and MVT sponsored Spike and Stanton Chevy under the hood. It is Tanner Thorson. Thorson's first lap by. It looks good, 14.435. That's good enough to put Thorson all the way up to the 7th position. Stays way up top shelf here on lap number 2, 14.435, and he slows down just a little to a 14.462. So Thorson solid on his first lap, and it's good enough to put him up to 7th here of the 13 cars that have qualified. 14th car now coming out, the People's Champ, number 5, Double D, Dave Darland. If there's a record in the USAC history books, especially in the non-wing sprint cars, odds are Dave Darland's name is attached to it some way, somehow. People's Champ working here on lap number 1. Darland in the number 5 for Baldwin Fox, Curb, Agate, Janey, and with Fox Paving, the Sia Valley Transportation on the side of his DRC, the Claxton Chevy underneath it. What does Darland have for him here on lap number 1? 14.776. Darland's got some work to do here on lap number 2. Sets it down on the bottom. Entering turns number 3, he's going to keep it pretty low for the run through 4. Tries to carry as much speed as he can. Darland improves to a 14.636, but it's unfortunately not enough to crack the top 10. Darland stays in 12th, right behind Carson Garrett, right in front of the 44 of Dickie Gaines. Moving on down the line here. Up next, the number 17, the driver hails from Indianapolis, Indiana. He drives for Bilby Motorsports with Bilby's RV service and supply, as well as Apple Metal Polishing, and Postman Brothers on the side of his J&D Chevy Power DRC. In the number 17, it is Nick Bilby. Bilby, you can see that thing. I mean, that's got to be the lowest sitting car on the rear end, making its way down the back straightaway that I've seen out of everybody to take time so far. And the low ride seems to work. Bilby, good lap, first time by, 14.54. Up to 8th quick here. We'll see what he can do. Comes ripping through 3 and 4, 14.45. He stays in 8th position with a 14.592. So Bilby comfortably inside the top 10, but he will be 8th as it stands right now. Here comes next driver to take time here at Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. It is the number 32, driving for Abrams Racing. You can see it right there, Culver's right there on the side, as well as Bob O'Link. It's the DRC powered by a J&D Chevy from Rushville, Indiana. This is the number 32 of Garrett Abrams. Abrams coming around to complete lap number 1 here. How is it for the Culver's sponsor, number 32, 14.778. And as we talked about in Hot Laps, Garrett Abrams, he's a good enough guy, and I think a lot of people would like to sponsor him, but he didn't just walk in and say, hey, Culver's, give me some money. He actually owns a Culver's franchise, and he just decided to promote his own restaurant and slap it right on the side of his 32. Garrett with a 14.803, his second time by, so 14th quick. He runs a lot of races here at Lawrenceburg, and he knows what he's going to have to do to work on that thing to keep moving up as the night progresses. So that was Garrett Abrams. Coming up next, who do we got? Trouble, possibly, for the 27 out of Arlington, Texas, driving for Gary Densford. in the Griff's Chevy Power DRC, Big D's Pizza, Zamp, Velocita, and BeachRC.com. That is Anton Hernandez. Might be a yellow unless that's Matt McCarty. Is he trying to qualify? No, I don't think McCarty's trying to qualify. So Anton not being shown the green flag yet here. Trying to find out exactly what is the holdup. All right, so there's the word from race director Kirk Spridge, and they've gotten the issue on track cleared up. Spridge lets him know you're coming to the green this time by, so you might want to get on the loud pedal. Hernandez does just that, dusts off the top of 3 and 4, wants to make a big run here. Clock is on for the number 27 of Anton Hernandez. Man, and I think he likes the top side here. Goes up way high to make his run through 3 and 4, and he finds one of the bumps here at Lawrenceburg, down low on his entry into 3 and 4. That's going to kill lap number 1, and unfortunately it does. It's a 15.386. So Hernandez, you got to imagine he's going to enter a lot higher going down the back straightaway, this time into 3 and 4. He's got a much cleaner entry into the 3rd corner. He keeps it up high, but the car just doesn't rotate all the way around 15.386. He improves to a 15.4, but it's going to keep him in 17th. So you don't know whatever the issue was on track. That might have played a role mentally. But then, man, hitting that big bump, getting down into 3 on the first lap did not help things whatsoever. That was Anton Hernandez. 18th car coming out on the track here. And it is the 15F of Aaron Farney, driver from Brookston, Indiana, driving for DCT Racing with HLR Racing on the side of his Ott Chevy powered Maxim. Here we go. What does Farney look like here on lap number 1? Not bad. It's a 14.906 for Farney. That puts the number 15F up into 15th position. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? He's going to stay up high here for this one. Farney making his way down out of 4. Does he improve? Yes, he does. It's a 14.823, so he finds a little bit more speed on the 2nd lap, but it keeps him right in the 15th position. Here we go, the number 77M, C.J. Leary. You are not going to have a hard time spotting that car from anywhere on the property. The driver from Greenfield, Indiana, is piloting the 77M for Michael Motorsport, Kodiak Products, Gray Auto, and Valvoline, helping him out with his Cressman Ford-powered DRC. Spoke to C.J. back in Ocala, and he said pretty much his whole career he's always been a Chevy guy. So coming over to Michael Motorsports, this Ford power plant has just been the only thing they haven't totally figured out yet, and that was the story back in Ocala, Florida at the opening 2 rounds. Lap number 1 looks good, 14.636. Not if you ask Leary, though. He's going to say it's not very good at all. Lap number 2, a lot better, 14.476. That puts Leary up inside the top 10 as he gets out in front of Brandon Maddox and slots right in behind Nick Bilby in the 9th position. So Leary P9 after a much better lap number 2. Moving along here, another driver that we did not have join us back at rounds 1 and 2 in Ocala, Florida. Here is the 21B of Ryan Barr, Topeka, Ohio, driving for Barr Racing. He's here by way of some help from Medway Tool Corporation, Charger Manufacturing, and Metal Bright Polishing on the side of his DRC with a Claxon Chevy underneath the hood. Barr is the 20th car to take time here so far tonight. Lap number 1. 15.600. He stays up high to work on it and try to find a wider angle to carry a little bit more speed and straight line it as soon as he can out of 2 and out of 4. Good run through 4 here. We'll see if it helps him out at all. 15.6. No, unfortunately it does not. So he actually backs it down to a 15.712. Barr will stay in the 17th position. Moving on now to the backside of Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Up next, it is the number 34 of Sterling Kling. Kling comes to us by way of Tempe, Arizona. Drives for Sterling Kling Racing. Jeff's Jam It In Storage. Hoosier Tire on the side of his Kistler Chevy Power DRC. Kling looks good here through 1 and 2. Let's see if the stopwatch reflects it. Kling, the 21st car here to take time. He stays up way high in 3 and 4. Car 34, what's it look like? Not bad, 17th quick, 14.879. I have a feeling he likes what he did there on lap 1. Boy, he got a big bump right there down the back straightaway. He's going to stay up way high at the end of lap number 2, and he improves from 17th up to 14th. Kling, 14.634. I want to see what lap number 1 was again here really quick. He improved a 14.879 to a 14.634. Great lap, great improvement for Sterling Kling. Coming up next, 22nd car to take time. It is the number 19. Driving for Haywood Motorsports with NOS Energy Drink all over that DRC with a Claxton Mopar underneath it from Canton, Illinois. Number 19, Big Daddy Chris Windham coming at you here. Complete lap number 1. Windham's first time by a 14.791. That's good enough for 17th, which is exactly where Kling put it on his first trip around the track. Windham looking for something on the exit of 3 and 4 here. I don't think he's going to find it. He does not. 14.816. So Windham not going to be happy with that one. 17th here in qualifying. Next car out on the track to take time here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, the 17G of Max Adams. Adams comes to us by way of Lewis, California. On the gas racing is the team. Bitech Resource Management and Cratchy's Cartage on the side of that. Maxim with a J&D Chevy underneath the hood. Starting to scroll down race monitor here when you got this many cars showing up. Adams' first lap, what's it look like? 16th, 14.765, and trouble for the 17G through 1 and 2. He almost goes around, he saves it. It's gonna be a lap killer, unfortunately. But he says, you know what, I might as well find out what I can still do over 3 and 4, so when we get to heat races, I have an idea. Adams backs it way down, no surprise, 17.237. But he should really just be happy he kept that car down on all fours, and it didn't get away from him in 1 and 2. Coming up next, on track here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying, for Wingo Brothers Racing with Trusty Cook, Halion Sales and Marketing, as well as CSI on the side of his J&D Chevy powered Max from Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the 77 FR of Ryan Thomas. Boy, 1 and 2 starting a little tricky. Over there for these guys late in the going here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Ryan Thomas kicking a little bit of dust up on the exit of 4. Lap number 1, how is it? 15.417. That puts him up out in front of Ryan Barr. He's got some work to do here. The 77 FR staying way up high. He looks really good through 3 and 4. What's he going to do here on lap number 2? He improves enough to move up to 22nd. That is a gain of 2 spots from the start of qualifying. So 15.354 for Ryan Thomas. Hey folks, we're almost done with qualifying, which means you don't have much time left to get your dirt draft picks locked in. So make sure that if you are a member and you play Dirt Draft, that you have your picks locked in tonight. There is a lot on the line that you can win, so please be sure you don't miss out on the chance to win some of that cool stuff. Dirt Draft, head over to the app or to the website and make sure you have got your picks locked in. Justin Grant has a big fishtail as he comes out of 2. He decides to stay way up high in 3 and 4 and straight line it down the straightaway. Grant's first lap, good, not great, 14.795. He looks way better out of turns 1 and 2 this time by through 3 and 4. He just wants to get on the power as quick as he can. First time by, he's going to improve on his second time by, 14.477. And that's the biggest improvement we've seen really here since the halfway point qualifying. Grant, lap number 1 was a 14.7, lap number 2 a 14.4. And that takes him all the way up to 10th position here. Getting down to the end of it, coming up next in the 47, driving for Tom Eads Racing with physical medical consultants as well as Pro Strip and Infinity Shocks on the side of his Ryder Chevy Power DRC from San Jose, California. It's everybody's favorite, Timez Thomas Nezera. Lap number 1 here, what's it look like for Nezera? 21st quick with a 14.857. Mesral going to work down the back straightaway. He finds another bump, not as aggressive of a bump up there on the top side of the backstretch if you're going to run the top going through 3 and 4, and it works for him. Mesral gains from 21st up to 17th in the number 47. His second lap of 14.666. Of course, Timez's number would be a 666. That's just how it goes. Look at him right there. Isn't he happy? It's the madman, Robert Baloo, and he's happy to be here at Lawrenceburg. We're happy he's here. Let's see what Baloo can do here on lap number 1 of his 2 laps in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Robert Out of Rockland, California, driving for Baloo Motorsports with Suburban Subaru, Birch Western Telecom, and Rossi feeding great on the side with his Ott Chevy powered Triple X. Lap number 1 for Mr. Baloo is a 15.120. Boy, he is putting a lot of right wheel into that thing through 2. He wants to stay not too terribly high through 3 and 4. He keeps it pretty right down the middle. Does he improve? Yes, he does. A 14.977 for Baloo. That's a heck of an improvement, actually. His first lap was a 15.12. Lap number 2, 14.977. So improves, but unfortunately it's not enough to get him out of the 20s, as he will stay in the 23rd spot. Kyle Cummins looked really solid in Ocala, Florida, both nights of Winter Dirt Games 12. And he told me before Hot Laps that he has changed every single thing that you can change on his race car to try to get it to sit down and, in his words, be a little bit more calm here around the 3/8 mile high banks of Lawrenceburg Speedway. Lap number 1 for Kyle Cummins, a 14.703 in that number 3R for Rocksteady Racing with Mid-America Safety Solutions. Project Oversight Services on the side of his Cummins Chevy powered Mach 1. Can he improve here on lap number 2? No, he does not. 14.726 to a 14.703. Cummins says he flat out struggles at this place, and to combat that, they have changed absolutely everything from what they normally bring on that 3R here to Lawrenceburg. Kevin Thomas Jr., he sure didn't struggle back on night number 1 of the 2021 season. He scored a dominant victory at Bubba Raceway Park on night number 1 of Winter Dirt Games 12. KTJ, as the kids call him, hails from Coleman, Alabama. He drives for KT Motorsports. He's got Dr. Pepper, McDonald's, and KT Construction Services on the side of his DRC with some Speedway Chevy underneath the hood. How about it for Kevin Thomas Jr.? Lap number 1, a 14.838. Kevin Thomas Jr. working through turns 3 and 4 here on lap number 2. We'll see what he can do. Speedtown Comfort Heating and Cooling on the side of that car as well. Kevin Thomas Jr. Where's he look? Where's he end up? How about a good improvement? 14.611. KTJ up to 15th. I think these drivers that went in the middle of qualifying here were really the beneficiaries, because as the session has gone on, the track has just not really come back to these guys late in the running. Only 2 cars left to go here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. Up first is going to be the 4P from Marion, Indiana for Scott Peterson's with Reds Racing Engines, as well as Indy Race Parts and AFCO shocks on the side of his Peterson Chevy powered DRC at Stop and Steer. Scotty Weir in the 4P, lap number 1 for Weir. Let's find it here. 20th, 14.725 for Scotty Weir. And now our final car to take time here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. He's going right out of the chutes to the top of the racetrack in that number 21, AZ from Anaheim, California, driving for Team AZ Racing, the one-way Chevy powered DRC with USW, CAT Construction, RSS Industries, CSI, and Lucas Oil on the side. It is Jake Swanson. Swanson working it here on the top side to complete lap number 1. How does it look here for the young man in the 21 AZ? Not too bad, 14.645. Swanson wants to improve here. He enters way high in 3 and 4. Looks good. Car rotates on him really well. Can he improve on a 14.6? Here it comes, and he does. A 14.607, 14th quick. So Fatheads Eyewear qualifying is in the books. And there you see it, Jaden Rodriguez in the 61M getting the Fatheads Eyewear quick time of the night thanks to a 14.297. And our most recent winner here with the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Cars at Lawrenceburg Speedway, Brady Bacon, right up there in second. Paul Nienheiser just continues to impress after taking the wing off the top. He's third quick. Stevie Sussex, fourth. Cole Beaudine rounds out your fast five. The 33M of Matt Westfall is sixth. Tanner Thorson in seventh. Bilby, Leary, and JG Justin Grant are your top 10 after Fatheads Eyewear qualifying here at Lawrenceburg. Brendan Maddox was 11th, J.J. Hughes 12th, Chase Stockton 13th, Jake Swanson 14th, Carson Garrett 15th, KTJ Kevin Thomas Jr. 16th, Kling, Darland, Nezera, and Kyle Cummins complete the top 20 after qualifying concludes here at Lawrenceburg Speedway. Scotty Weir was 21st, Max Adams 22nd, Garrett Abrams in the 32 sits 23rd. Chris Windham's going to have some work to do from 24th. Aaron Farney is 25th. Dickie Gaines was 26th. Robert Baloo 27th. 28th was Sabin Vivent. 29th, Ryan Thomas. And Anton Hernandez out of the great state of Texas puts his number 27 30th when it was all said and done. Bringing up the back of the field, number 21B of Ryan Barr with that time of 15.600. But as we all know, you can have a little bit of bad luck in qualifying here at the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Series, and you're given plenty of opportunities throughout the heat races, the C, the semi-feature to redeem yourselves and get back on top. So, Fatheads Eyewear qualifying is done, and picking up the $100 courtesy of our friends at Fatheads Eyewear in that 33M. I'm sorry, not the 33M, the 61M. Jaden Rodriguez out of Worthington, Indiana. So he will get it done. And we got some support series racing that we're going to step aside and check out here. All right, folks, so it's the modifieds here at Lawrenceburg Speedway getting ready to take out onto the